you're working with Mr. Davids in these other cities elsewhere as we speak to transition them into the program.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. If we don't provide value, people don't need us. And we recognize that, we know that.
Now, the fact that the situation potentially is going to change in terms of the Labor Department's definition of what constitutes an independent contractor, that would also seem to play into your end of the court. What's your take on that?
That's without a doubt. Our people, myself, I was an employee. I was an installer. That's all I did was install. But I was an employee. It wasn't upon me to do those business responsibilities, and I wouldn't have been good at it. So we have a system that works.
So then what's going to happen? Just say in the situation where the Labor Department says, okay, from this day forth, there's not going to be independent contractors in the floor covering business or any other business for that matter. So then basically contractors existing or firms will become contractors to provide service in any given market. That would seem to be the model that would most likely be followed. Would you agree with that?
Well, a business person has to respect that and be a business person. We do have owner-operators within the install system. There are people where husband and wives have set up just like any place else, where the husbands and wives have set up a business. But when that happens, one of those people involved is handling the installation and the labor, and the other person is handling all the paperwork, all the taxes, and things like that. So we can still work with independent contractors. It's just the government's going to make sure that the independent contractors are legitimately independent contractors, and then the government's getting their taxes paid.
Which there are now, and I'm sure there will be more, but this happens. But I would imagine that the number of larger contractors, if indeed this does happen, will increase markedly.
And our contractors are ready for that. There's a little switch, there's a little wrinkle, because the businesses always buy the square foot or square yard. Our contractors, our install contractors, when they're bidding those jobs, they're still bidding it by the square footers, by the square yard. So, but our contractors, they had to make that change. They had to say, okay, the installer, I'm going to pay them by the hour. I had to estimate how much they're going to get done, and then I had to make a bid out of that. That's something that's a challenge that our contractors have done. I think that's going to change to a lot more people too. They'll be in fact, that's going to change for everybody. Even that owner-operator independent guy, since he's paying taxes on the people that are working for him, he's going to have to do that change. So once again, the industry is being pushed along to come within the dynamic that we already have. So we're there, we're existing, our guys can do it well already. I think it's going to play to our favor.
So you're knocking on a lot of doors and have been all over the United States to open new markets, and this is really greasing the wheels for you.
Yes, without a doubt. My message is that I'd like to get out that we don't bite. You know, we want to do business with you. We are good for business. And so install's open, and we welcome everybody. I've been saying the word welcome in a lot of my reports for the last, few months. I want people to understand that we welcome, we listen, we can help people to make a good living, to help people thrive. And so we've been very busy doing that. Next week I'm going to go to the CFI convention. That's it. Welcome. You know, I have nothing but hold them in nothing in the highest regard. I think that they're doing the right things. I think that we're both going in the same direction. It's just an idea of finding out what fits to you, what level, what degree fits you. There are people there that I want to send that message to. You know, I applaud what you're doing. I respect and appreciate what you're doing. And if you are the type of installer that it's not in your best interest to be an owner-operator, to be a business person, you might want to come over to us because we already have a good program that's suited just for you.
I understand there are some new certifications that you're offering. Tell us about that.
Yes. First one, and one I believe is going to be completed first, will be our surface prep certification. We're working with, I think it's maybe 11 different underlayment manufacturers. We've gotten the curriculum taken care of. We have the orientation taken care of. We have the written test taken care of. We have the hands-on test taken care of. We've been handling it through go-to meetings. We're going to bring all the manufacturers to our International Training Center, and then we're going to do some run-throughs just to make sure that we're satisfying their need. And after we can have it, that we satisfy all their needs so that they know that a person that passes that certification is somebody that they can rely on and count on to do the job right. And so after we've had that, then we will unveil it, publicize it to the public. I'm pretty excited about that one. And the reason why, David, in 2012, we did a review of our existing carpet, resilient, and the UBC NWFA wood flooring certification. And so we brought it out. We said, these are the skill sets. These are the standards that we're evaluating. This is how we're doing it. And is this up to date? Does this satisfy your needs? Well, in the beginning of every conversation, every review, whether it's resilient or carpet or the manufacturers talked about surface prep. We spent a half hour at the beginning of every review talking about surface prep. So that was the industry crying out to say, we have to have something done for surface prep. So we're putting that thing together. We're putting together one for turf, too, athletic turf. We're recruiting and soliciting the involvement of the mills and the manufacturers because we've gotten some curriculum done, but we feel it's vital for us to have the input and the direction from the mills and the manufacturers. Their product, generally they know the best way to install their product, and we want to make sure we satisfy the needs in the certification. So that's where we are with our surface prep, our turf prep. We did a review of our NWFA, install NWFA wood flooring certification, and the review has found that people are still satisfied with it. So I don't see us changing that. Those standards are good. They're satisfying the needs. They are good basic skills so that an employer or customer can have the peace of mind and knowing that those installers know what they're doing. So I was thinking about changing that, but it doesn't seem like we need to.
You do these reviews on an ongoing basis to make sure you're up to date, and you have, as you mentioned, it's a partnership. You have lots of partnerships with the manufacturers, yes, to make sure that you're meeting their needs.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's just, for us, it's worked out well. I really think it's common sense. You know, you can't succeed in a vacuum. You know, in order to satisfy anything in any market, you have to satisfy the needs of the market. You have to satisfy the needs of the installers. You have to satisfy the needs of the employers. And if those people, and the market would be also the manufacturers, because if something goes wrong, it falls back on them. It's their product. So we've solicited from the inception of Install. Install was created by coordinating or recruiting the involvement of manufacturers. I think we started off with about 12 when we originally started, and we created the Install program. Now we're over 100 of them, and we welcome more. And we serve, we're a good vehicle for communication. Manufacturers we serve as a distribution point for their training because they might not have a big training force. Maybe they have, there's 6, 7 people that are their technical managers. Well, if they go to a trainer at our International Training Center, we bring our instructors from around the country. Instead of having the effect from 6 individuals doing it, they'll have the effect of, yeah, it's right, multiplies. So they have locked-in audience. All of our apprentices have to go, so that's 2,000 people that get to see what they do, plus with the journeyman upgrading courses. So our people serve as disciples or apostles for spreading the word.
You're doing good things. I know we've been having you on this program over the years. In fact, I'll say it again, you were the first interview we did on video, and I still appreciate that. And my hat's off to all the good work you do.
Thank you, David. Same to you. I appreciate your support, and I remember the first time. That was a pretty big deal to me. It was the first time I ever had an interview like that. So you were pretty good to me then. You're pretty good to me today.
Well, it was pretty amazing that it even worked out. I mean, with the camera and all the logistics of it. So I'm still very pleased about it.
Thank you very much, David. I wish you well.
Thank you, John. John McGrath. We're at Tice East, I should say. And John is Executive Director of Install, and this is Talk Floor TV.